Hello my friends! Welcome to Honest Violets. We are in Italy in this wonderful greenhouse, Ecosystema Poletto Piante. Let's go inside. Today we'll be talking about succulents. So my friends, we're now next to a row with succulents and cactuses. First of all, I would like to show you how we choose a healthy plant for us. First of all, we need to have a look at the plant, at all its leaves, and just make sure that it doesn't have a rotten, dry leaves, or it doesn't have any signs of damage or disease or insects. And all the leaves should be really healthy, strong, and we feel that it's growing in a normal way. For example, of course the sizes are different, but I would like to show you the difference. For example, this one is the same plant, it's Haworthia, but it's planted too deep, and as a result it's not growing and it's not developing properly. While this plant, you see how healthy it is from all the sides. There are even babies. You see how healthy it is, nothing is rotten, no damages, no insects. So you would definitely choose this plant over this one. Or for example, we have here another succulent, right? As you can see, they're not developing in a good way. You feel that there is something wrong with this plant. We don't know in which conditions they were, but I would not recommend you buying this plant. Instead, you would probably like to choose this one. This is greener, the leaves and everything seems more, much better and healthier. Okay, I would also not recommend you buying plants with this glistening things for Christmas or for different holidays, for different seasons or occasions. They use these colors and glistening things on the plants which actually harm them. Maybe someone considers this to be more beautiful, but actually this is harmful for the plants, so I wouldn't suggest you buying this. So what about the pots? It's a good idea when we buy a plant from a store, we repot it. I usually do it like that. And how I repot it, I just choose slightly bigger pot than the original one, and I make sure that it has hole, especially for succulents and cactuses. This is a very important factor because the moisture should go out of the pot. We will water it. The water will go down into a saucer, and we will remove what is left, this water, from the saucer. This is very important. Also, we should not water the plants on it, especially on the center, but we just water just on the soil or from a saucer. We just water it, we will just pour the water on the saucer, and then the plant will take as much as it needs. This type of plants, they need direct sunlight. They need as much light as possible. Although there are several varieties that can really grow and very well blossom indoors when you don't have that much direct sunlight, but it's still very bright. For example, this is this type of zebra plant, or its name is Haworthia. Or, for example, this plant, Sansevieria. Or even the famous maybe a plant in the world is this jade tree or crassula. What type of soil to choose for our plants, for our succulents and cactuses? Nowadays it's very easy because usually the stores sell already prepared soil specifically developed for our succulents. 1 month after repotting, you can start fertilizing your cactuses and succulents. You can choose from a variety of fertilizers that are sold in your shop, and pay attention to the instructions, usually at the back of the bottles. And you can fertilize them like once in a month or once in 2 weeks. This will really help them to grow and be stronger. Some of succulents, they produce a powder on their leaves, and it's very important not to clean it, not to touch the leaves, of course they will not die, but it's better for them to have their powder. This is very important, and also you will not like to have some stains on your plants. So for example, you can see here this plant has this wonderful powder that makes it look so amazing. Here I have a wonderful jade tree, and as you can see, for example, one leaf is already a little bit yellow. If you can see it here, this is one of the oldest leaves, and it will be even better just if you remove it. Just if you turn it just slightly and it will go off easily. This is better if you watch them always constantly, and if you notice that leaves are one of the leaves is going dry or rotten, you remove it, not to attract insects or bacteria. If you keep your cactuses and succulents outside on your balcony or in your garden, you need to make sure that you will bring them back inside just when it gets colder in the end of autumn. This is very important because succulents cannot survive. They will get rotten and they will just simply die. They should not freeze, so you bring them inside, but you still need to make sure that they are in a brightest place you can provide them. Otherwise they will get leggy and they will not develop in the right way. But you still need to continue watering them in very minimum quantities, but just to make sure they are alive. I mean, you do not water them from the autumn and then the next time in the spring, right? You need to make sure that you water them, but maybe once a month, depending on your climate, just to make sure that the soil gets a little bit moist, but then dries out as well. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it was useful for you. See you next time, and stay passionate about plants!